I haven't done in a long time. A double unboxing. So we're going to do the unboxing of the Kyosho Mini-Z rear-wheel drive. This one's going to be the narrow. And if you guys have been following my whole Mini-Z series, talked about the narrow before. We didn't unbox it, but we talked about it. And this is the LM. We'll show the difference between the two. I'm going to take it out on the test course. I'm going to keep them box stock. And what does that mean? Not box stock in the racing class form, but I'm going to keep them completely stock for this video. I will be comparing these two cars with one more other MR04 that I got. And this is my first MR04. Had it for a while, just never driven it. Also, I'm going to keep this stock because what I want you guys to see is the difference between this car, the Narrow, and the LM. Now, it's on my test track. It's a smaller track, so keeping these cars as close to stock form is going to be vital for you guys to be able to see the differences between the three, rather than me putting it on the big track and it requiring updates from the jump. And if you guys are enjoying these Mini-Z videos, please let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, because I got a lot more Mini-Z content to come. As I mentioned, this was my first MR04, and that's not entirely true, because this was my first MR04. And if you guys are not familiar with this is the MR04 Evo. This is what the chassis is going to look like, and yes, guys, that's brushless. I'll give you guys a sneak peek of the body that I'm going to throw on this too. And just a quick teaser, that's the body I will be running on the Evo. Yep, another Porsche. But if you guys want to see the video of that build and run, post it in the comments, hit that like button so I know that you guys are enjoying all of this Mini-Z content. Because as I mentioned before, I have a few Mini-Zs. The McLaren body that just recently released at the time of filming of this video, and the Mercedes AMG. Got that as well. So I have a few bodies to throw on some chassis. And guys, if you're not subscribed, if you're not hitting that like button, I won't know if you guys are truly enjoying these Mini-Z content. First up is going to be the Porsche 911 GT3 RS. It's going to say rear wheel drive, narrow or wide. This one's narrow. It's either going to be RM or LM, and then it's going to be MM or HM. This car is going to come in as a narrow rear motor, rear wheel drive. And then for the LM, which is going to be a Porsche 962C Coupe LH #1. As you guys can see, I'm into my Porsches these days. And this is going to be rear wheel drive. Instead of narrow, as we saw with the 911, this is going to be wide. Instead of RM, this is going to be an LM. Motors are both going to be brushed. T-plates are still going to be the stock T-plates. Steering, everything else is going to be stock on these cars. Let's go ahead and get them out of the box so you guys can see what they're all about. For the transmitter, we're getting the same KT531P. As I mentioned before in my previous videos, you can bind every one of your Mini-Zs up to one controller. Now it's not a memory control, so your trims are going to be set to whatever the previous car was, but at least you can carry one controller for all. Unless you're planning on having a car with buddies. It takes nothing to bind these cars, guys. There's a bind button on the car, turn the steering wheel left, turn the power on, and the car binds. Simple as that. You're going to get the owner's manual. Don't lose this. This is going to be the spare parts. You're going to get pinions in this as well. Most times, you're going to want to upgrade the pinion on these cars to make them go faster. Especially if you're trying to keep in the initial race classes, you're going to need these bits that are coming in this bag. And then lastly, you'll get some cones, the wheel nut wrench. I would say if you're really into the Mini-Zs, buy the Kyosho tool set. It really does help, guys. You don't have to use the plastic tools that come with it. It comes with a nice metal tools for the car. And then here we get the car. Now to get the car out, you are going to have to unscrew it underneath. Let's go ahead and get this all out of the box and then come back and show you what the car looks like. So keep a Phillips head screwdriver handy because you will need that to get the car off the box. And then the car is going to have a zip tie. Just cut the zip tie, pull that off. I find the easiest way to get the body off, it's going to look painful, but it actually isn't. If you take the two sides, spread them wide. The chassis comes right off the body. And there you are. Wow, this body feels a lot lighter than my other ones. Yeah, this body looks really impressive. These are not decals. These are actually clear lenses. If you so choose, you could definitely try to fix LEDs in here. They sell LEDs that you can buy, that you can put on these cars. Some of them, they'll allow you to do it. Some of them, you can't. You would have to try to manufacture something on. This one looks like you would have to too, but after you do it, you'd probably have to do some hot glue. One thing that I want you guys to know, most times when you have certain cars, because of the tint on the windshield, the transponders will not pick up every time. So what most people do is they cut out the front glass if they're going to race with that body. And you can see it is painted because this was at some point a white body. As for the chassis, this is the MR04, shorter wheelbase, more narrow width. And I'll compare that with standard MR04. Once again, take off the body off the chassis, just pull it wide, and it comes right off. That's the car. So here we are, the standard. Give you guys a look at the two. Hopefully you can see how much longer the standard car is. I got both tires matched up in the front, and you're seeing how much longer it is with those rear tires. If you want to see the motor placements, see where this motor is mid-motor, this motor is all the way to the rear. If you're thinking that all of these front plates are the same, they're not. They actually have the name of the body that the plate is for. As for the tire compounds, stock-wise, they're about the same, but you'll probably get one, maybe two runs out of the stock tires before they will pretty much go to crap on you. So that's one of the things that people hop up. But as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I'm going to drive the cars box stock. So you're going to see how good or bad the stock tires perform. If you're looking at the chassis from this point on, they pretty much look the same. The battery placements, everything else from that point on is not changing whatsoever on the two cars. It's going to be everything from and what I mean by the T-plate, there's a T-plate right here, and this is basically holding the rear part of the car to the main section of the chassis of the car. Depending on the T-plate that you put on there, you could either get the car where the rear end is very loose, or you can get it stiffened up depending on how firm your T-plate is. We're going to run it with the stock T-plates on these cars. To put the body back on the chassis, same deal. Just make sure you get that front plate pushed into its mount. Squeeze the sides out. There is a groove, and I'll show you that on the other car. There's a groove that these little inserts right here are going to fit into, and then the body is going to fit perfectly back onto the car. But there are grooves right here and on this side on the car, and those plates on the side of the body are going to fit right into them. I'll do the same thing with the Porsche. I'm going to put the front plate into that mount, squeeze the sides out, push it right into that groove, and it is, once again, back together. For the LM, it's pretty much going to be the same deal in regards to the parts, everything that comes with it. I'll get that thing out of the box, and then we'll show you guys what that looks like underneath as well. Now for the LM, you're not going to get that zip tie. You're just going to get a plastic piece of, I don't know what this is, but just cut it loose. And you're going to be able to remove the body the same way. Don't forget to remove the sticker. Same deal, wide on the LM. You're going to think you're breaking it, but you're not. And it comes right out. The LM body, you can see, it looks like a wedge. It's very low. Same deal with this one. You can put lights in if you want. You'll just have to manufacture that on your own. Comes with the tinted glass. A lot heavier of a body on this one. You guys are familiar with the Sabra I had, the Mercedes-Benz Sabra, and that one too kind of gives you the same kind of feel to the car. Feels nice and firm in the hands. This is what the chassis is going to look like. Compare that back to the standard M. You're going to see the length. This is the LM on the right. The LM is just a little bit longer. and we'll show you the width. With these two, it's not much. They're very close in width. Without changing the front plate on the standard MR, nope. You guys see what I'm talking about. It won't fit. So you got to put the front plate with the right body for each one. You can't just simply slap any chassis with any front plate to any body. That's not how it works. Next up, I'm gonna get some batteries in all of these cars and show you guys how they perform on the test track. Here we are, the more narrow width MR04, all trimmed up with the stock controller, not my controller that I had before. It's still horribly trimmed out. I had to trim it all the way to the left to get it to at least drive the way it is now. I took it out of training mode, so now you're watching it in stock tire form, but at least out of training mode, so it's a little faster. I'm not gonna whip it around too hard because these are with the stock tires. You can see I'm not getting tremendous amount of grip, and as I keep driving, the stock tires, you start to lose more. And if you guys are enjoying these kind of videos, I will show you the car once it has more upgrades on it and how it performs, even on this test track. But for right now, this is kind of how it will perform right out of the box. I'm running those same HiQuick batteries I just talked about on the review of the review of the HiQuick AAA batteries. So, not bad. We're not doing it for speed. We're more so just doing it to see how the car handles. I'm trying to cut those turns tight, but with these tires, it's just losing grip. All right. All right. Let's bring the C8 out. I don't think I've driven a car with stock tires before in a long, long time. This is not in training mode. You guys can see how much more, woo! Yeah, it is storming outside, but you guys can see how much more steering this car has, even with the stock tires. Much more than the narrow wheelbase vehicle. Just trying to make sure it's trimmed out properly. Look how I'm able to cut those corners. It's not blowing out like what we saw on the Porsche. And this is kind of goes back to what I was saying, why people buy the standard MR04s or 03s and not so much the narrow ones, because this is what you're getting out of the box versus getting something where you're really going to have to tune the car up if you're planning on racing it. For casual driving, it's perfect, but if you plan on racing it, I find that the narrow ones, you got to tune up a lot. Whew, look at that. Oh, that was all me. Look at that. Woo! Stock tires. Now it's starting to show the effects of the stock tires now. As I give it a little bit more throttle. Yeah. They're starting to really push more. losing a little grip. Yeah, it's not oversteer, it's actually those stock tires just blowing right out. Woo, yeah. You'll see the series with me doing minor upgrades. Yeah, wow. All right, stock tires is trying to show its worth in soil. Let's get the LM out before I lose power. Whew, this LM is nice. Straight out of the box, stock tires. Look how it takes those turns, guys. Look at that. Same controller, same driver. And I'm giving it, and this is not in training mode, giving it the same amount of throttle as the other two cars, but you guys see the difference of an LM versus the narrow and the standard MR04. Now, all of these, and I mentioned this before in the beginning of the video, all of these are MR04s. Every last one of them are brushed. Motor placements is different on each one, and the length of the chassis and the width of the chassis is different. If you have an inkling of an idea that you're going to race, get yourself an LM. Classes are harder, but it just has you working towards something. Woo! Now it's me. Eyes are slowing down. Actually, hunger is setting in. Got to get off the wall. Starting to see the limitations of the tires. These tires don't last long. It's actually a few laps, a few runs, and these tires get really hard, really smooth. And as I said, they start to show their weight in soil because they're just meant for the garbage. But the good thing is tires aren't expensive. And you can easily replace it. It's not like buying a set of Pro lines. Let me get off that wall. Ooh, now it's starting to wash out. Now these tires are starting to blow out. Yeah, yeah. I'm giving it more. Yeah, I'm giving it more now, and it's showing its limitations. It's not oversteered by the car, not even by the driver. It's the tires are giving me nothing at this point. And I'm giving very little input in for steering, and it's almost giving that characteristic of oversteer. That's definitely on the tires. Let's bring it in. All right, guys. So I just wanted to give you guys just a quick export of what we just saw. As I mentioned in the video, in the beginning and also in the run, all of these are MR04s. They're all MR04s. The only thing that differs between them is going to be motor placement, width, and wheelbase of the vehicles. And of course, they're all brushed. Now, for my liking, I am always going to go for either the standard MR04 or the LM. These are my two type of go-tos as of late, just based on the looks. I love how the 911 looks, and I know I can get the 911 to start to drive a little bit closer to the standard MR04, but not like it. I know I can get that car coming very close, because I've done it with a team associated SR27, which is very close in the dimensions to this car, and I'll show you that really quick. This is the team associated, and it is pretty much the same wheelbase that we'll see on the narrow of the Kyosho MR04. And I have tuned this car box stock to what you see today, and this car is now to the point where it is drivable. I mean, I had times when I took this to the hobby shop and they were like, yeah, just put that to the side, let's not even drive that car. And I now got to the point where this is really drivable. So I know I can get that car to be drivable. If you're looking to race, stick with these two. Stick with the LM MR04. This is going to require some knowledge and tuning to get it to the point where you're able to race it with these two. And the narrow width, it is a little twitchy. Turning down the dual rate would help a little bit. I got to fix the trims on this one because I'm not sure why it's trimming out like that. So I'm going to have to probably recalibrate the car to get the trims running better, because even when I went back to the stock transmitter, it still performed where it was pulling to one side, and I had to trim it all the way to the left to get it right. But what I really want to focus on for the next video is going to be taking these two cars, because these are the more, I would say these are more of the more popular classes that you'll have. But I'm going to take these two cars and take them up to the next level. I'm going to show you kind of step by step what I did with my previous MR03 and my MR03 LM, and show you how I got those cars to the level that they are today. But we're going to leave this here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for the latest posts of the channel. Hit the bell, guys, because that's how you're going to get the updates to the videos as we post them out. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.